Well, this is just a little a video clip for Mr. Cowboy. It's a Mr. 23 Cowboys competition. He wants us to show him our 45s. Now, I'm not, screamingly worried about entering the competition, but I just thought I'd show you some 45s from literally the ends of the earth. I'm a New Zealand firearms collector. I specialise in World War II infantry small arms, and I have two of your magnificent 1911's to hand. They're very different pistols. If you just take a quick look, this one's a Remington Rand and the other is a Colt. One is in very good condition and one is just a heap of crap, but they have merit in their own right. The Remington Rand, as I said, it's all matching numbers. It's in very good condition, got a wee bit of holster wear, but given that the gun was produced in 1943, that really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to us. This one I bought the Arizona show a couple of years ago and brought it back with me. This one I found here in New Zealand, and we could speculate, and it would be just sheer speculation as to how the hell it got here. This is a Colt. As you can see, it's pretty badly discoloured. There's a little bit of pitting, but this is a pistol that has been issued and carried by a soldier, a marine, possibly an airman, but probably, given its location here in New Zealand, that it's been around for a while here, I tempted to speculate that it's one of the pistols that was left behind. We had the American 2nd Marine Division here along with other US units. They were stationed in New Zealand, and sort of halfway through the Guadalcanal campaign, the American government wanted the New Zealanders to leave our 1 infantry division fighting in North Africa at the time when the Japanese were threatening the country. The Americans and the British both wanted the New Zealanders to stay fighting in North Africa. It was going to be too hard to get them back to New Zealand, and they were one of the best divisions in the 8th Army. So in order to prevent the New Zealanders doing what the Australians had done, which is bring all their divisions back to confront the Japanese, the Americans said, we will garrison New Zealand, we will guarantee your country's security in the face of the Japanese threat. In return, you leave your boys where they are fighting the Germans in the desert. So we had large numbers of US troops down here, and they left quite a bit of kit behind. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cold. There's a place called Warkworth, which is just north of Auckland, and the Americans decided that in the event of a Japanese invasion, they would hold the line at Warkworth, and it became called the Warkworth Line. It's one of the narrowest points of the North Island. They speculated the Japanese would probably land in the far north and then start pushing down to Auckland, which is our biggest city. So they elected to create defensive positions along that line, and they also cached a lot of explosives, a lot of firearms, a lot of ammunition and kit in hidden caches in the bush, so that if they did get rolled, if the Japs got through, the Americans had determined that they would take to the bush and fight as guerrillas. And a lot of this stuff turns up. Occasionally we get large explosions when people are burning off bush because there's a hidden explosive cache which hasn't been recovered. And just recently there was a barn find of a complete case of 1911 Colt 45s that the Americans had just left behind. They also abandoned a lot of kit and buried it, chucked it into the sea, because at the end of the war it was just going to be too damn hard to get rid of it, to take it back to the States, so they destroyed it here or buried it. So who knows? I think that's possibly where it came from. It may even have come in from Vietnam. New Zealand troops in Vietnam were using 45s. We had our own Browning high powers, but it was 9mm. The Australians were using the Colts, so we tended to use the Colts. So who knows, maybe it's a veteran bring back or theft. All the other bits and pieces are just kind of bits and pieces from American forces of World War II. If we think of the 45 as a soldier's best friend, and the second best friend would be condoms and a venereal disease prevention kit. Little pamphlet there on how to keep your man bits clean if you've been with the dirty girls. Another infantryman's best friend is foot powder, pardon me, and then a period piece, Chesterfield cigarettes and trench lighter. Bronze staff, trench knife, and the shoulder patch from the US 3rd Division. It's one of my favourite divisions. So there we go. That's for you. Colt 45s from the absolute end of the world. If you're wondering about where they fit into the collection, got quite a bit of American stuff. Just give you a little flick. Got a Browning down there, Browning machine gun. Another Browning, the light 30 cal. We've got a couple of Thompsons, the M1 from the 1928. We've got a bunch of combat shotguns, US Marine Corps. We've got your magnificent rifles, the Garand, the Johnson, the Springfield Sniper's Rifle, Springfield 03, and the old, the Enfield, and your venerable, but let's be honest, not particularly good, BAR. And just to round out the American mix, we've got the grease gun up there on the wall, and the Reesing, an appalling piece of kit. So we're reasonably well stocked up with the American firearms. The characteristic of them, they tend to be very, very well engineered, quite ergonomic. The sights on most of the American firearms are superior to anybody else's. They're easier to adjust. There was a continuous program of improvement where things that needed to be improved changed out. The Americans were very, very quick, and that's certainly evidenced by, where's our carbines gone? There are the carbines up there. A whole bunch of different firearms based on the same sort of platform they brought out. Within a very short period of time, you've got 3 distinctly different types of the same firearm. So one of the things I admire most about the Americans is their ability to field improved equipment very, very quickly on the basis of soldiers' feedback. So there you go, mate. From the ends of the world, United States property, but piss off, you're not getting it back. Talk to you soon.